Welcome, everyone. This is Identifying Scams and Critical Thinking. My name is Matt Robinson.
And I am Mike Vanny, and this is a really important topic because scams are coming up even more so than ever, and they'll sneak right up on you. It's one of those things where you might not even see it coming.
That's right. They're very, very sophisticated, and a lot of our elderly and some of our young people, even now, are being targeted by these scams, and they really have no idea even what to watch for. So, with that, I guess we should jump right in. So, how to identify a scam email? A lot of times it will be too good to be true. Like they'll be offering you free money, free trips, or even something as small as like a free item from Home Hardware or Canadian Tire. I've seen a lot of those ones lately where it's like if you have to sign
Like
up for this.
localized.
Yeah, very localized, very seemingly very accessible, but a lot of times very scammy, and they want you to click the link and you basically have to. They're asking for your information, and so don't click the link. Whatever you do, and they will.
A good overarching rule is just don't click on the link.
Yeah, if you even if it looks legitimate, you can always go to the website. So, for instance, if it's like an Alberta Blue Cross or like I said, Canadian Tire, you can go to the website and see if it's legitimate and check on it there. And a lot of these
Instead of clicking.
emails, a lot of these emails will pressure you to act quickly. They'll be like to be very time sensitive. Um, for instance, some of them will say that if you don't act within the next day or two, we're going to close your account, or you'll lose access to this money. Those types of things. They want you to act quickly without really thinking. Unsolicited communication. So obviously, a lot of these scam emails, they're not replying to an email you sent them. They're just out of the blue. So that's red flag number one. A lot of times people aren't contacting you randomly with a great opportunity for free money. This seems fishy
Yeah.
right off the gate.
Yeah, at any point if your kind of alert is going off that this seems kind of fishy, you're best off just to hang up the phone. Don't delete the email, or at minimum, talk to somebody about it before actioning with it.
That's right. You can always contact, I think, the RCMP non-emergency line number. They have information about scams and stuff like that. So if you're ever unsure, you can reach out to them. They will send you requests for money or even personal information. So these days, your personal information is as good as gold to these people because they cannot sell it in bulk. And so that would include your address, your social insurance number, even as little as your email address. That's worth something to these scammers. So make sure you're protective of that information.
Mm-hmm.
These scam emails specifically will have really terrible grammar and spelling. And this is becoming less true over time because of the introduction of these AI learning language modules will fix that grammar and spelling for them before they send it away. Previously, a lot of times they would just type into Google Translate and it would be kind of janky, for lack of a better term. But now they're pretty sophisticated and they look like they're written by really sophisticated English speakers. And they will have people that will contact you. Sometimes they'll set up fake profiles. So make sure you do your due diligence if you're dealing with someone online and you think they're legit or you're unsure. Make sure you check out their profiles. If there's information that doesn't match up with what you know about them, definitely inquire with them about it or just back off completely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Facebook accounts can be particularly bad in this regard, where you'll receive a friend request from somebody who looks like a friend or a relative, and then when you click on the profile, they only have like 3 friends and a copy of the picture that person actually uses. And what people will do is they'll actually copy others' profiles, pretend to be them, to gain access to your friends list, to gain the ability to send you additional messages or have you click on links and catch you where you might be least suspecting it.
Or solicit money from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very common. So they'll have unverified contact information, like that goes along with the fake profile. If they have that information, you can't verify it. That's probably not a very good sign. They will send you links that have suspicious URLs in them. So a URL is basically like www.yahoo.com. It's just the address of a website. And so businesses will have, so like Best Buy is bestbuy.ca for their Canadian website. And so if it looks like it's from Best Buy, but the link that they are trying to send you for you to click on doesn't have Best Buy in the title, chances are it's a big scam.
Or if it's something like bestbuy.online.com or something like that, right? Like it should be very specifically that address. And if you're ever unsure, like Matt said earlier, instead of clicking the link, open up a new tab, go to bestbuy.ca, see if you can find the deal they're advertising or anything like that that email is attempting to advertise to you, because more than likely not, it is a something scammy,
malicious. You can also type in the email address itself, like into Google, and then type in legit afterwards and hit enter. And a lot of times they'll have people discussing what is a legit email address and what isn't a legit, and the differences between the two. Sometimes they can be pretty close. Like they'll maybe use a 0 instead of an O, and at a first glance, it kind of looks like it's similar. So make sure you watch for those. They'll use fear tactics, like they'll remove your account or take legal action against you if you don't get back to them quickly. That's a pretty big one. People get emails from like the FBI or the CIA and those like law enforcement agencies.
The pretend CRA, for example.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one for sure. A lot of people get, and that's the
especially around like tax season, right? And stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to don't mess with the tax man for sure. And so when you want to confirm an email address, this is just a little example. You can, it'll basically have the name that it comes from and then the email address itself. And both of them, you can hover over, if you are on a computer, hover your mouse over it and it'll give you a readout of what the email address is. Or if you tap the little arrow on the reply on your email, if you're on a mobile device, and it will expand and give you a little more information about the email address itself. And so a lot of times like this track trace one, it's obviously from this like non-existent domain name FZZH. So that one is pretty easy to identify. Other times it'll say like webadmin at, and then the website itself. But it's a Netflix, for instance, a Netflix email. So obviously something there doesn't jive. So like I mentioned, if you log into Netflix or log into whatever the tracking website is that you get from your for your online purchase, you can check on that information directly. Don't click a link in the email.
Yeah, and a really good rule, especially with emails, is that if they're sending you a message via email, it is not so time sensitive that you need to respond within that minute. You've got enough time to really stop and think about this, whether it takes, a half a day or a day to really determine if this is legit or not. But most of the time when you stop, think, and actually take a good close look at it, you will spot this type of thing and be able to go, oh yeah, that is not real.
That's right. Emails are not instantaneous response back. And so a lot of times they will refuse to provide, a lot of times they will refuse to provide details. So if you inquire more about their organization or their identity and they aren't forthcoming with that information, that's a big red flag. The alternate of that is they'll give too much personal information, like, oh, my uncle is really sick and he left me a lot of money, but I need you to get this to unlock it. I need you to pay $100 for. So, if it can go either way. So this is where the critical thinking steps into place. And all of those other things we mentioned, too good to be true, pushing you to act quickly. All of those are really important parts of this. Unsolicited downloads, if they send you an email that has like an Excel in it or a PDF or anything like that, don't download it to your device. Just a good rule of thumb is don't download any links that is unsolicited and sent to you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times if it's a legitimate process, it will have a verification process such as two-factor authentication, or it will ask you to sign up with an account that you already have. And so it's important to remember that don't give away that information. So it'll ask you to sign in. And then if there's no authentication process, chances are they're just phishing for your username and password. Inconsistent information. So if the information on the website or the phone doesn't match the email that you have been sent, a lot of times that's a red flag. So make sure you don't. Make sure you follow up on that and confirm that information. Lack of transparency. So they will avoid answering questions and then try to be as shifty as possible without giving you any real information.
Yeah, and these would be very similar to if they had sent you a chat message in Facebook or a social media thing, and you're asking questions to get them to confirm. It's a real quick giveaway that they're avoiding any specific detail. The best course of action is not to engage at all, but if you find yourself in a situation where you are engaging, you definitely want to suss out who they are.
That's right. Sometimes you might even be asked if you are part of a law enforcement. They might ask you more information about these people. So giving them as much as you can is really important. So if you are a victim or if you think you are chatting with somebody, stop all communication, document everything, and change all of your passwords.
Block and move on.
Block and move on. If you think that you've given them money, or that they've taken money from you, or maybe you've really popular cases where they'll get you to go and buy Amazon gift cards or Apple gift cards and then give them to pay your bill or your fee or your fine to them in gift cards. If that happens, contact the police. And don't buy them the gift cards, but or if you're dealing with a loved one who has done this before, definitely direct them to the RCMP.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you review and monitor your financial statements. So after you've dealt with them, make sure you just keep an eye on your financial statements. So your credit card bills or your statements for your bank accounts. If there's a situation where you think somebody has access to your computer, you can run malware software and antivirus software to just sort of make sure that you've nothing on your computer. And so we have another video that's coming out that will talk more about what pieces of software to use, and change your security information. Make sure that your passwords are all up to date and your security questions or your multi-factor authentication is set up on your accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so critical thinking and disinformation. So in the world of AI, this is more important than ever. Some of these videos are getting pretty sophisticated. So you'll want to definitely check the source and verify the author of the video. And even verifying the author is pretty difficult these days when a lot of times videos are just being reposted without them checking the validity.
Yeah. You're best off going in and assuming it's already incorrect.
Right off the bat, yeah, that's pretty much your best course of action. Assume it's fake right away. And then you can cross-reference with reputable sources. It usually, within a couple days, if there's a really insane video out there, within a couple days, someone will be able to say, oh, this is true or this isn't true.
Mm-hmm. Verify it in some way.
Yeah. Beware of clickbait and sensationalism. So this is pretty prevalent in any sort of modern media. They want the way that they, being the media companies, make money is through advertisements and clicks. And so it incentivizes sensational headlines to get you to click and interact with those articles. So they might say something pretty outrageous in a headline and then sort of give you the truth in the article. But at that point, a lot of people just read the headlines and move on, and then take it at face value and share it. And so make sure that you really check that out and don't fall for sensational headlines. Check for supporting evidence. If there's something crazy in a video that you've seen that seems impossible, chances are it might be. So you can do some digging and check on the evidence of that.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to written articles, check the tone and the writing style. A lot of times writers will have a bias one way or the other, and you'll be able to sort of suss that out by the way that they're writing, their tone and their cadence, and it might be overly aggressive or biased, and you can usually tell.
Mm-hmm.
Articles should just be facts, not opinions. Otherwise, it becomes an opinion piece and less of an actual news item. So understanding AI and deepfakes. So AI refers to the simulation of human intelligence or language, the way that we speak and interact. And deepfakes are basically videos or pictures that are created using AI that are highly realistic. So deepfakes are known for being very convincing. It's both now audio and video. So I won't show any here, so before we get copyright striked, but you can, like, it's all over YouTube. Like, if you just Google AI version of whatever song you want, there'll be one in like Hank Hill's voice or a Frank Sinatra cover, or like, they're out there.
Yeah.
Very, very easy to find.
It's especially notable in artists that are no longer with us, kind of thing, and they're all of a sudden repopularized in doing something. It's likely that there's a form of AI being used to create that. But I mean, if you take that same concept and apply it to a regular run-of-the-mill situation, you can see how this starts to get a little bit out of hand in showing someone that may not have actually done what you're watching on video.
Mm-hmm. And singers with very distinct voice styles are often victims of this, for sure. Okay, so the big concern surrounding deepfakes is the accessibility, how easy they are to make. You can use so many different platforms to create them. You just need to have a username, basically, just an account with them. They provide, or they cause national security risks. Like, you don't know what's real anymore, and people are acting on fake videos and fake information that seems pretty legit, basically causing a crisis of trust. You don't know who to trust. You don't know what to trust. You can't trust your eyes anymore. Like, it's pretty saturated. There's quite a bit of videos out there. So in conclusion, trust your instincts. If something feels suspicious or too good to be true, follow up on it, and make sure your sources are correct. Stay credible. Anything that seems fishy, do your due diligence and check into it, and protect your sensitive information. Don't let anyone take your social insurance number or any of that information. Make sure it's all very secret.
Yep. Protect yourself when you're on the internet. It's honestly becoming more important than ever.
Just assume everyone's out to steal your information in some way.
It's all bad. But
right.
Knowing this is how you protect yourself, and in ensuring taking that extra 5 minutes to review an email you received can be the difference between going on with your day or spending months with a bank and with government and trying to make sure that people aren't impersonating you online, et cetera, et cetera. So it's important to be mindful of these things.
Right. Okay. That's it. Thank you for coming.
Have a great day.